Ooh, what's going on? What's going on? On my way to the track right now. Middle of the damn freaking summer and it's cold as hell. Don't make no sense, yo. Whatever. But anyway, so Anthony Joshua, he came out and he had some comments as it pertains to Deontay Wilder. He was speaking about how he doesn't believe that Deontay Wilder is an elite fighter. And he's saying that, now that, quote, Deontay Wilder stepped up, I'm saying, you've seen that he's, quote, having issues. And he was talking about how, from now on he's going to have problems. And there's a whole bunch of, us, that are also on the side over here. They're also going to, want to get a piece of him as well. And, I mean, my thought process on it is that, first, it's kind of weird to me, that somebody would speak about somebody of that stature not being elite when you had issues that you've had yourself when it comes to the likes of Vladimir Klitschko. Something that somebody at Tyson Fury was able to dispose of very easily with no issues and no problems. But, you had to go life and death with that man. You had to peel yourself off the floor in order to come back and get that victory, and the only reason you probably were able to even get out of that fight was the fact that Klitschko didn't push the issue once he had you hurt. But you came back, you did what you needed to do, and you got to be respected and commended for doing that. But then this is also the same person that went into a fight against an Andy Ruiz who was substantially shorter than you, substantially smaller than you. This is not necessarily somebody that's seen as an elite or a top tier fighter. And for him to do what he did to you, beat the brakes out of you, and kind of make you quit on the corner, basically, for you to then have that talk about somebody else not being elite, it's weird, because the only person that Deontay Wilder's lost against is Tyson Fury, somebody who, again, I said disposed of Tyson Fury, I'd say disposed of Klitschko, and disposed of him easily. All the belts that you have around your waist right now, those were Tyson Fury's belts before he went into his little spats, and his 2-year hiatus and got his belt stripped. So when it comes to those things, it makes it kind of just weird to me, these type of things coming from someone like that who has that type of history. But if that's your philosophy, if that's your mindset, if that's your train of thought, fine, that's cool. I have no problem with him having that, that mindset or that thought process whatsoever. Anthony Joshua was just, quote, supposedly supposed to fight Tyson Fury. When it came to negotiations, things of that nature, there was no issues. They basically were cutting everything down the line, 50-50. And purse 50-50, everything that was going to come in was going to be all 50-50. There's nothing to be negotiated, really. There's nothing to argue about. So when it comes to Deontay Wilder, who, we after the Tyson Fury fight, after he fought him the first time, the second time before they fought, they both had 2 fights. Tyson Fury had sold, I think, like 3,000 tickets his first time. The second time he fought in America, because in America we actually can find out exactly how many tickets are comped and how many actually were sold. In the second fight, he comped more tickets than he actually sold. Viewership was horrible. Deontay Wilder, made millions at the gate when he fought against when he fought against Dominic Brazil. Did over 1 million views plus on Showtime, as he always does. Fought against Ortiz. When he fought against Ortiz, they did 350,000 pay-per-views at $75 a pop. They did over a $4 million gate. So he did his thing. That's what he was able to do, while Tyson Fury wasn't able to do basically anything. When they fought again with each other, massive event, did over 850,000 pay-per-views at $75 a pop. Okay, and we're not talking about the UK, pay-per-views either, just the United States. $17 million gate. They're about to fight again. They're going to do pretty much the same numbers or even greater numbers. The gate's going to be ridiculous, probably going to be higher than the 17 million. And it's going to be another massive event that, Deontay Wilder's part of. So looking at the receipts, looking at the record that this man has, if he's able to beat Tyson Fury in this particular fight, not to mention it's going to be in emphatic fashion, then there's absolutely no reason whatsoever why he wouldn't be getting the exact same deal that Tyson Fury got. Not to mention he brings in a whole different dynamic as far as the United States is concerned, as it pertains to the pay-per-views, a market that they wouldn't be able to tap, he wouldn't be able to tap without Deontay Wilder. So because of that, there's no reason why, it can't be the exact same thing, 50-50 for both those guys to face each other. Absolutely zero reason why not to have that done. So there should be no issue. This should be a situation where, he's going to be able to come out here and he's going to be able to prove, what he's talking about. In an undisputed bout, because everybody wants, undisputed so badly, right? Everybody wants to see undisputed. Well, cool. You're going to be in a situation where we'll be able to get this undisputed bout, between these two great champions. Wherever it might be. It's all about the money, because when it came to Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua, it was all they had in Dubai and all this other stuff, because it's all about the money. So if you're talking about actual finances, the biggest place would be able to do it, unless they're able to get this big huge deal from like a Dubai or something of that nature, which I don't see why they wouldn't want to do that. It's even a big bout, I believe. Anthony Joshua versus this knockout artist, especially with Wilder coming off this victory against Tyson Fury, which if he wins against Fury, reality is probably going to be in dramatic fashion, in a fight that people are going to be talking about for weeks, as always when Deontay Wilder fights. So with all that background, perfect. You do it in Saudi if they can. If not, you do it in the United States. Put it in the United States, you do your $20-30 million gate, million plus pay-per-views over here, 2 million plus in the UK. Good to go. And Anthony Joshua will be able to prove his point to everybody, in the ring, that, quote, Deontay Wilder's not elite. He'll be able to prove that, even though Wilder's had no real issues with anybody. The only person he's really had issues with has been with Ortiz, and it's been with Tyson Fury. He figured it out against Ortiz. He was able to stop him. And then when it came to Tyson Fury, I put him down 2 times, should have been 3 times. And if they counted that first knockdown, he would have won that first fight. Obviously he's coming off a loss with the second fight, just like Anthony Joshua did against Ruiz. Obviously, but against a person that's considered the best in the division, in Tyson Fury. And then we'll see what happens with the next fight. But again, this is just one of those situations where just put your money where your mouth is. Go get paid a lot of money for proving your point. Actually, put yourself into a space where you're going to get paid record paydays in order to prove your point. Do that. Do that. Like they say less, do more. Show us. I'm saying right now, he has a right to that opinion. It doesn't make any sense. To me, it's weird. But you have that right to opinion. But being who you are and the status that you have in boxing and in the division, you're in a space where you don't have to speak about it. You can actually show us. So you get past your opponent. If Deontay Wilder is able to get past Tyson Fury, you guys both meet up and show us how, show us his lack of eliteness, as you're talking about. But for now, like, subscribe, share. I'm out.